We finally have our first look updates of the new Transformers movie that are completely reshaping this franchise. And yes, it looks like Unicron is finally coming into live action, but that's not even the wildest part of what we're covering today. We've got breaking updates on Michael Bay coming back to direct another Transformers movie, 5 separate Transformers projects currently in development at Paramount, the long-awaited G.I. Joe crossover update, fresh casting reports, behind-the-scenes drama with Paramount, and finally exclusive details on what these movies will actually be about. First up, just days ago, Shia LaBeouf sent the entire Transformers fandom into overdrive when he was spotted reuniting with Peter Cullen, the legendary voice of Optimus Prime since 1984. The actor posted a photo with Cullen at a local fan event, and immediately fans started asking the question. One fan straight up asked LaBeouf if he's returning to the franchise. And here's where it gets interesting. According to multiple reports from fans who met him at a recent convention, he smiled and said he's working on it. Now, before you lose your mind, he clarified these are irons in the fire, and very early stuff, the kind of thing that could still change. But the timing of this reunion is absolutely wild when you consider what else is happening behind the scenes. Because guys, here's the bombshell that officially dropped in June from Puck News reporter Matthew Belloni. And this is our first confirmed look at Michael Bay's return. Bay is developing a brand new Transformers movie that he plans to direct, and this wasn't just rumor, this is officially happening. Paramount confirmed Bay approached the studio himself with a new idea. He's got writer Jordan Van Dina from The Binge working on the screenplay, and sources say Bay wants to be a hands-on producer and potentially the director. This is the first official production detail we have about the next mainline Transformers film. But it isn't even the craziest news we have, because later we have news about Unicron joining the movies. Moving on, guys, this is the same Michael Bay who walked away from the franchise 8 years ago after The Last Knight disappointed at the box office with $605 million worldwide. Which sounds huge until you realize that's $500 million less than the previous films made. But here's the thing. Every single Transformers movie after Bay left has struggled even harder at the box office. Rise of the Beasts made $439 million, which was the worst performing film in the franchise. Here's where things get absolutely insane. Puck News revealed the full scope of what Paramount has in development. And this is the first time we're seeing the complete picture. Paramount has not one, not two, but 5 different Transformers movies in various stages of production. This is officially confirmed, and let me break down this first look at each project because this is wild. First, you've got Michael Bay's project we just talked about, officially in development with a writer attached. Second, and this is huge, Josh Cooley, the director of Transformers 1 and the Academy Award-winning filmmaker behind Toy Story 4, has officially signed a deal to direct a live-action Transformers film. This is the first confirmed live-action project outside of Bay's return. Third on the list, and this is officially confirmed by Paramount themselves, is the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover movie that was teased at the end of Rise of the Beasts. Remember when Anthony Ramos's character Noah got handed that business card from Agent Burke, played by Michael Kelly, revealing he works for G.I. Joe? That wasn't just a cute Easter egg. Paramount officially announced this crossover at CinemaCon as a confirmed project, and Chris Hemsworth is in talks to star. This first look at the crossover confirms it's really happening. But here's where the G.I. Joe crossover gets murky. Anthony Ramos recently gave an uncertain update about the project, citing the Paramount Skydance merger that was finalized in October 2025. He told Screen Rant, "I don't know, brother, I feel like you guys find out before us. There's a lot going on at Paramount Skydance, the whole thing going on over there." Translation, nobody really knows what's happening with this movie right now. Some insiders are even doubting it will ever get off the ground. Bonaventura recently also offered some clarity, revealing that the next time these two franchises appear in live action, it will be together. He said the next live action movie will be a crossover. Where it will be particularly affected is the fact that we now know what these robots are capable of, emotionally in a way. So one of the things that I'm particularly interested in doing, and we're still in the development phase, so nothing is by any means written in stone, but I think we need to do more now from the robot point of view in the live action, because that's the only way you're really going to get inside them. Now it finally brings us to Projects 4 and 5, 2 mystery Transformers films described only as being in early development. We have zero information about these, but the fact that Paramount is juggling 5 different Transformers projects simultaneously shows they're desperate to figure out the franchise's future. Let me know in the comments what you think about these movies. And here's where Unicron comes into the picture in a massive way. Multiple sources and industry insiders are reporting that Michael Bay's return project is specifically designed to finally deliver the Unicron showdown that was scrapped after The Last Knight bombed. Reports from Puck News, Deadline, and insider reports confirm that Bay's pitch to Paramount revolves around finishing the story he started, bringing Unicron to the forefront as the central villain in what's being called either Transformers 8 or potentially Transformers Rise of Unicron. Recent reports say the script is currently being written by Jordan Van Dina. An early concept description suggests this film will pick up the threads from The Last Knight's ending, where those massive metallic horns were jutting out of Earth's surface. Bay reportedly wants full creative control to deliver a cosmic-scale finale that ties together every storyline from his original run, turning Unicron into the ultimate threat that forces Autobots and Decepticons into an uneasy alliance. The film is rumored to be targeting a 2027 or 2028 release window, though nothing is officially confirmed yet. What makes this even more significant is that with Paramount's rights to the franchise expiring in 2029, there's genuine urgency to get this project into production by late 2026. The Paramount-Skydance merger in July 2025 created fresh leadership under David Ellison, who is reportedly enthusiastic about Bay's vision for a grand finale. This is the first time we're seeing the actual timeline Paramount is working with. That sounds like a lot of time, but it's really not when you're trying to develop multiple competing projects and figure out which direction to take a multi-billion-dollar franchise. If Paramount doesn't have a Transformers film in production by 2029, they could lose the rights entirely. That's a nightmare scenario for a studio that's already struggling with declining box office numbers across the board. This deadline explains why we're suddenly seeing this first look at 5 different projects all at once. Paramount is throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks before time runs out. Recent reports also said producer Lorenzo Di Bonaventura has been teasing that the upcoming Transformers films will emphasize fleshing out the robotic characters instead of focusing so heavily on human characters like the Bay films did. He told Collider they're trying to answer crucial questions. He said, well, how much of the Joes do you want? And how many of the Transformers do you want? This is a massive shift in philosophy. If you think back to the original Bay movies, the human characters were often the emotional center while the Transformers themselves were more like spectacular background effects. I think Transformers already proved that audiences will absolutely connect with stories where the robots are the main characters, diving deep into their emotions, relationships, and morals. But let me know what you think. Now it brings up an interesting question. What will Transformers 8 actually be about? Fans are speculating all over the place. Some think the focus will be on Unicron, the planet-eating Transformer who was teased in Rise of the Beasts. Others believe we'll see Megatron transform into Galvatron, staying true to the series lore. There's also a huge contingent of Beast Wars fans who want to see more Maximals and Predacons, which Rise of the Beasts only scratched the surface of. Director Stephen Caple Jr. previously said if he returns, he wants to explore additional Transformer factions on other planets and dive deeper into their origins and their creator. He specifically mentioned Unicron as a threat that was left open in Rise of the Beasts. That story thread absolutely needs to be picked up if they're continuing that timeline. There's also the question of whether Megan Fox could return as Michaela Baines, which people in my last video's comments really wanted, but let me know what you think. Fox has spoken positively about potentially working with Michael Bay again. Telling you online, I've always loved Michael. We've had our battles in the past, but even when I've been really outspoken about difficulties we've had, I've always followed up by saying that I have a particular affinity to him. She even confirmed in 2018 that her on-screen romance with LaBeouf was real, saying on Watch What Happens Live, I mean, I would confirm that it was romantic. I love him. I have never been really quiet about that. I love him. The chemistry between LaBeouf and Fox in the first 2 films was undeniable, and those movies grossed $707 million and $836 million respectively. That's the kind of box office magic that's hard to ignore. What's your take on Michael Bay returning to direct Transformers? Should Paramount go all in on bringing back the original cast with Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox? Let me know what you guys think about all this. And also, I am Brian from Cinema Surge, and I will be covering every update on your favorite movies when it drops. I want to hit 10K subscribers soon, so please make sure to subscribe to show your support.